Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 4 of the Overly Involved Pod. I'm your host Kayla.
I'm your other host, Kat.
And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about travel.
Woo. Intro.
Okay, so I feel like every episode we talk about like our current obsessions in the beginning. So let's start with, what's your current travel obsession? Is it a specific country? Is it a mode of transportation? Is it something you use for traveling? I don't know. Anything travel related. What's your current obsession?
Okay, so my favorite mode of transportation has to be a plane.
Currently?
Currently.
Is that your current
Yeah,
obsession?
I love planes. They're just so simple, so quiet, so peaceful until turbulence.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have different views because I absolutely hate planes. If anything, that's my least favorite. I don't mind trains. I don't mind cars.
Cars are uncomfy.
Not for me. I'm a good height. I can lay down on a car easily with leg room. Not to flex, but
Thanks for flexing.
oh, I thought you said banks, so I was like,
Banks?
anyways.
I love a good European bank.
Me too. No, I'm trying to think of like my current obsession. I feel like, well, I just got a TikTok or a reel.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Thank you for differentiating.
Yeah, it is different. Of this Lego restaurant in Belgium.
Denmark.
Oh. In Denmark. And literally you build your own meal. So you have like certain blocks that mean a certain certain food. So I'm going to refilm that. So at this Lego restaurant, they have this, like, you pick a certain Lego piece and it means something, like it's a type of food. So like chicken.
Oh wait,
beef,
I
you don't actually
interpreted that the wrong way.
Yeah.
I
when
thought you
told
meant that you like literally build your food and then it comes to you.
No, so this TikTok was like you put it on this like square like piece and then you like build it and then you put it in this machine and it shows these little Lego mans making your dinner and then it shows the whole process and then it comes like in a little Lego box and then you go eat it.
That's so cool.
And
wow.
It's in Denmark, and I mean Denmark overall looks cool, but that is like probably the coolest.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the reason why travel is even something we're talking about in general for this podcast is because me and Kat actually studied abroad. It's like
Count how many times we're going to say that this episode.
Hopefully not
Just start a
many.
counter right below.
I hope not many.
Probably
But so we studied abroad.
Fall 2022.
Yeah, so a year and a half ago, basically.
Oh my God. It's almost, yikes. It's almost 2 years ago.
And I feel like that experience was so interesting for so many different reasons. So, backtrack. I never left the country before the age of 20.
Oh my God, we were 20?
Yeah, for the summer.
Jeez,
Yeah.
wow.
We're literally, you're 20.
Yeah, I'm 21.
You're acting like that was like 5 years ago.
It just feels like forever ago.
It does. But, so my only travel experience was domestic. So, in-state and stuff. But, so I decided to apply for the Dingle program for 2 weeks at first. And then sophomore year in the spring, when their, like, applications were out, I think, like, you were trying to decide to go or not. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should. And, like, side note, there's not the best housing for juniors and seniors here at our school.
Nope.
So I, like, went for RA, didn't get it at first. I got put on, like, the wait list or whatever.
Were you an alternate?
Yeah, that's
Something
what they
like
called
that?
it, yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, you know what? That's my sign. I'm going to apply to study abroad. And then I did. And I obviously got in. And then you did it too.
Mm-hmm.
And you also got in. So then we both were going to Dingle. By the way, yeah, I probably should have said what we studied abroad. Is Dingle, Ireland, which is like this small little town that's on
Very small.
What?
The west coast of
West
Ireland.
Coast,
I had to
thank
think
you.
about geography for
I
a second.
had no idea. So it's like the closest to the U.S. you can get in Ireland.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's like the most like
west.
Yeah. Western.
Western.
Sure. We'll call it
area,
that.
Whatever.
Whatever.
We're not. Disclaimer: we are not geography people, so this is like way past our
Absolutely
qualifications of
knowing stuff.
Yeah. And I'll probably like last episode insert the facts on the. If you're watching the video podcast, you'll pop up the facts when we are either wrong or need confirmation. So that was spring of sophomore year. We got into a 2-week program. 2-week program is basically you take one class, 3 credits for 2 weeks. It's a lot in the sense of like the class itself you're taking every single day, weekday.
It was 6 hours of classes.
6 hours of classes, and there was one break for lunch, so 3 hours, I guess, basically.
Yeah, we had 3 hours and an hour lunch break and then 3 more hours.
And it was not fun. Like,
it really depended on the class you were taking.
Yeah, mine was just like, it had good moments. Like, we watched films and stuff, because I took a communication class that was like Irish film and stuff, and it was cool. Like, I definitely learned a lot. And normally these like classes all have field trips part of them, so like mine visited movie sites. So
Dingle, we both went on that field trip.
We did. I don't know how your class justified it.
I don't either.
I'll let you talk more about your. Actually, do you want to talk about your class now?
Yeah. So my class was a class for my minor because I'm a Catholic Studies minor. It was part of the requirement. And my class, we basically looked at Irish plays and the importance of like setting as part of those plays and like how it fits into it. I think that's how we got roped into your field trip.
Yeah, so the field trip was us going to different locations for movies. So in Dingle, there is a part of Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
I don't know what episode that is.
I can't even tell you anything, but not allegedly, this actually did happen. They filmed one of the scenes, and like it's a very big thing because obviously Dingle's a small town. Another movie is
Ryan's Daughter,
which was controversial, but that was literally like in Dingle.
That?
No, you were thinking Far and Away.
Oh, Far and Away,
which has Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman.
She's in that movie?
No, I don't know because you're. Oh wait,
no way.
Future Kayla, fact check me. Far and Away. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, wait.
Kat's gonna look it up. But
whoa.
Anyway, so we did like this whole big. It was like majority of the class, so that was cool because like that was out of the classroom kind of days. But in the in-class time, it was a lot. Like it's a lot to learn.
She is in it.
Oh,
that's so cool.
Good for me. I thought we watched like bits of it, but we got to visit where like it's not set in Dingle, but they filmed in Dingle, I think is what it is.
Didn't we go to the pub that they were in that movie or something like that?
I think we saw
or the cast went to go visit.
Are you sure that's not Star Wars?
It could have been
we went to like a pub, I think, like that they went
all
to.
look the same.
They do. So it was really interesting to like have a class like that, but then it also had its moments. It was like very long. But the 2 week was really nice because that gave us like a taste of Dingle before we came for the semester. Because I know like I again never traveled before, so the first time I was traveling was to Dingle, and I was like a little anxious because my like put a lot of pressure. I was like, oh, we have to like this town because then we're stuck here for 3 months, which is a long time.
Yeah.
And at the time now it feels so quick.
Yeah.
But obviously it worked out. We did some like cool thing. I don't even remember what we did during the 2 weeks.
Went horseback. Well, I went horseback.
I did not do horse. I did do horseback riding.
We went on a hike. There's a big hike you can take in Dingle.
Oh,
East Tower. We did East Tower. It was quite the excursion. Did you go surfing?
No,
I went surfing. We went to Killarney for a weekend.
I did
actually for overnight.
Overnight. Yeah.
Overnight. Spent less than 24 hours there.
So quick. But like Killarney has like a national park, which is super nice, and then they also have. We went to a cathedral or no?
Yeah, it was a cathedral.
And then we also walked around the little town. I got a donut that was like such a good donut. But so that was like that was my first taste of like outside of the country.
Yeah.
What was your first outside of the country?
I don't remember. I'd been out of the country before. I traveled a lot with like my family growing up. Like we usually just went to the Bahamas or like Hawaii. That was like our summer trip. And in high school,
Hawaii's in the country.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's a long flight.
Yeah, okay.
Very long. That's a long travel day.
Long that you feel like you left the country.
Yeah, might as well. Like, and then in high school, I did a lot of international trips, whether they were service trips or just like cultural immersion trips, as they called it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Same. public school did not have that.
We were very small private Catholic high school. Yeah. So
you don't know what the first country is?
Oh yeah, no, I don't know what my first country was. If I had to guess, probably the Bahamas.
That's nice.
Probably.
Super nice, yeah. I was a domestic girly.
I love that for you.
Thank you. We'll talk more about, but to talk, I feel like we're on like the study abroad. But I feel like I'm saying the word more than you are, and that's annoying.
Study abroad?
Good. We'll add up your Italian.
So when we studied abroad,
which so annoying. But so then when we came back in August to Dingle.
Oh yeah, I was like,
sorry.
I was like, what, 2 weeks?
I was reliving the 2-week program.
Yes.
We come home, whatever.
Yes.
It was great. We're so excited. Packing for a semester.
Oh my god.
Was atrocious.
We had to pack for all 4 seasons. Because there was no coming home, and like that was the longest.
And like it's one of those things that you get nervous that they don't have your like certain brands that you like, because there's no Target in
not
in
Dingle.
In Dingle is like not even any European mainstream.
To give you a sense of like how small Dingle really is, you can walk the whole town in 10 minutes tops, 15 even. That.
Oh, you mean like the strip?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's like the town of Dingle, and then it's like the outskirts of Dingle.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe, because there's a bunch of hills and stuff, so it's not really. But like where all the restaurants and the shopping stores are really small. And obviously when you come from where we're from, like obviously in America in general, like you probably have a Target near you or a Walmart or like these big brands that have everything you ever need. But it like even like I don't even think Prime worked well. Like it still would take a few days. Like you had like I once ordered something the morning and got it that night from Amazon.
Oh, I've never had that.
Yeah, just like the difference.
Yeah.
So we had to pack all our shampoos.
I remember texting you that like I think like 2 days before we left, and I was like, I think I just packed like 6 months worth of like feminine products. We're going abroad for 3 months.
I know. No, it was we were texting back and forth trying to figure out, are you bringing this or you?
Yeah,
that?
That was my favorite part.
Because like it was like we had to bring all these products, and it's like, oh okay, that has to go on my checked bag because obviously we can't bring carry on, and like so we ended up doing we each had our own 2 checked bags, and then we had a carry on and a personal item. So we were like stacked with bags.
We were ready.
And like I had a whole system because obviously the way there I had my parents to help me hold my stuff and like roll all my bags, but on the way when we got to Ireland,
to the bus once we landed.
There's something about
and then bringing it up to our room once we got to Dingle.
Like the way the wind whacked my face. Like the windburn I got from Ireland was next level, especially when like so I had a whole buckle system where I buckled one bag to the next, and then like the bigger bag.
Oh my god, I remember those.
It was honestly genius.
Where'd you get those? Amazon?
Amazon. It was just like
period.
straps, and I put my carry on the larger one and just would carry it, and you know what, that worked. But then we got there, and like how the schedule works in the Sacred Heart Dingle program, is you get to your room or whatever, or you get to Dingle, and then you basically go straight to a tour of like the town. So when we went there, at this point we did the 2 weeks, so we had a pretty good idea. So I just wanted to go to bed. Like I get it, you're not supposed to because of like jet lag, but like in my mind, I just wanted to go to. I got so sick.
The 2 weeks you did.
Well, yeah. So from Shannon Airport to Dingle is the closest major airport that has international flights. It's a 2-hour drive, which doesn't seem bad in any situation. But in Ireland, a 2-hour ride means that you're going to face death at least 1,000 times. Or you're looking quite literally at the ocean, but like it feels like the ocean. I don't know.
You also like on that drive you go through the mountains, and there are some pretty sharp turns. And we were on like an average American like large school bus, and making those turns, probably the most terrifying experience of those 3 months.
Literally, and like So the 2-week program, I got very bad car sick, which I've never gotten before in my life. And now, from now on, I've gotten car sick. I've developed it, I think, because of Ireland. So then during the semester, I knew I'm going to bring Dramamine. Like, I was ready to go. I took it, and I still felt awful. Like, when I didn't feel as sick. Like, 2-week program, there was people throwing up. There was, like,
oh my God.
so many people were getting sick. But then we got to the semester, and it wasn't as bad. Pretty much everyone fell asleep. Like, it was dead.
Keep in mind, there were only 15 of us?
15 of us.
Yeah.
In the semester.
And we were, again, on that large coach bus, so everyone just took a row to themselves. I remember I laid down and fell asleep.
I didn't fall asleep. I think I had a headache. There was something I had. I don't know what it was. But, yeah, so, like, during the 2 weeks, it's, like, 100-something students. Like, it's a lot more students. So
yeah,
we had a much more space. Like, we all crammed in the bus for the 2 week, but the semester
we were chilling.
But
even stopped.
It still hurt. We stopped?
Yeah.
When?
I think like right before we got to Dingle.
Was I there?
You had to be, because I was there.
I don't remember that. So like I didn't think I felt as sick. It was more like a tired, like jet lag kind of vibe. But they made us go on the tour of like town, which I was so over because our rooms weren't ready yet. They were still cleaning it when we got there because it was probably like early afternoon when we got there, probably like 1 o'clock,
probably
the latest. I'm assuming. So we like whatever. We walked around. We got lunch because we got our final like we get like a debit card for our meal plan because
the Soldo card.
Like what's really nice when studying abroad within your university is like you basically it's like tuition and everything. Nothing like you just don't really have to do anything extra. So your meal plan turns into this little card that gets money in it every other week. So it's like $2.50 every other week, right?
I don't remember.
And you can save up, or you could like use them as many as little. You can use the grocery stores.
Use it wherever too.
That's what's super nice. You could do like grocery shopping with it, which is like so much nicer because here on campus we don't really have like a grocery store. So it's like that was nice. So I remember we got lunch, and then we got back. So they were like, "Oh, your houses will be cleaned in like an hour ish." So I was like, okay, we're finished with lunch. I'm like, let's just walk back to the house. If it's not ready yet, that's okay. We'll just, like, wait outside. It honestly wasn't a bad day.
It wasn't. It was beautiful.
Sunny. It was windy.
Yeah.
Windy. So, like, we're like, okay, might as well go. Right when we stepped foot on the... So it's, like, an uphill to get to the house that we stayed in. So we lived in, like, not townhouses, like houses, like literal houses.
Yeah.
Very nice. And then we got the message being like, the house is ready. So I'm like, Kat, go.
Let's go.
It felt like, okay, if anyone watches like America Next Top Model or like Golden Bachelor had the moment where they all run to the bed to find their bed. Well, this is what happened. Well, not really. Just me and Kat were there at first. And I'm like, oh my God, what a coincidence. So like, we just happened to be done with our lunch quicker, whatever. Might as well go up and check. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like, let's look at each room. We walk into this first room, which is up the stairs, and I'm like, oh my God, it's a bathroom with a shower, a walk-in closet, 2 bed, and a little couch. And I was like...
Ended up being the biggest room in the house.
We just happened to walk in first, and I literally go to Kat, I go, get our stuff. I'm like, we're going to clean this room.
So we lugged up our 3 very large and heavy suitcases up the stairs. Again, the most humbling experience of my life.
Truly.
Our housemates came in and like,
so we were in the house that only had, the program was mostly female except one guy. The one guy happened to be in our house, so he actually technically got the nicest room.
He did, yeah,
because he had to be on separate floors. So there was only 1 bedroom on the first floor, and then the rest were on the second floor. So he was in the first one. So he had 2 beds to himself, a full bathroom. Did he have a walk-in closet?
I think he did, because I think his room was like the same as ours, just flipped.
Yeah,
on the other side of the house.
So he, like, had the nicest room, whatever. And then Kat and I had the second best because we were sharing this, like, beautiful big room on one side. And the other side had 2 bedrooms, which we assume logically that the 1 bedroom was probably a 1-person bedroom. But they made it into 2 because, like, the guy couldn't be up there. So they had to make do.
Yep.
That's on Catholic University. So that was definitely, we got so lucky. We did. That was super nice.
That moment lives rent-free in my head.
And it reminds me of the reality TV moment. I felt like I was like, Yes.
It felt like Amazing Race. Like when they finally solved the clue and they're like, we gotta go to the airport.
I think also because our stuff was already up there, they thought, or like we were about to get our bags, that they thought we weren't there yet, or like, and I swear they were like, oh my god, we're the first ones, and then it like,
Haha, suckers.
or I could have just made that up. Totally don't know.
Maybe.
But this is gonna die in a second. Hold on. Okay, so talked about the first experience to study abroad, and then sorry, every time you look at me, I feel like you're gonna like do a count of how many times I say the word.
No, you can do that while you're editing.
Great, thank you. So while we were away, we were able in the 3 months to visit a few countries, which you can't see. No, you can't see. We have a
5.
wall. I'll insert, maybe if I have like a photo, I'll insert a photo of each country we visited, including Ireland. And we were actually very proud because like we live in a dorm, so obviously we can't paint or anything. So like it's a white wall, so it looks very boring from here. But each one has like a photo of like us, and then a photo of like the location with like some like knickknacks that we got, including like our Irish hat, the
Paris hat. But it was itchy, so I took it off.
That's fair. And like scarves from Italy and stuff. So we visited 5 countries, not including Ireland, right?
Yeah.
So 6 in total.
What was your favorite one that we did?
I mean, I would say like Italy was like obviously the coolest, and like you've been to Italy a few other times besides this time, but it was really awesome. Or like I feel like Scotland surprisingly was a lot of fun. Like I think we had the most fun because we had the most like unpredictable because we just didn't plan anything. I feel like we had stuff planned, but like we didn't have like we went to this bar that had a ball pit, which not sanitary at all, and like I don't know why we didn't give it a second thought, being like, oh, that's kind of gross. We just did it. Like,
do you remember the drinks we got? The like the Capri
Sun.
Sun. Yeah, insert
like,
the photo.
I don't know if I have photo.
I have it.
Oh, cool. And like we got scrunchies, and
I still have.
Oh, I still have one too. Please.
They lit up, guys.
They lit up. They don't light up anymore, but they did. And then you got like an hour in the ball pit, and then we took photos, and they were cool photos.
Yeah, they were. The other part of that trip when we went to, do you remember the optical illusion place we went to?
Wait, yes. Wait, that was so cool.
Yeah.
It was like, what was it called? Like Illusion Museum?
Something like that. We also did a whiskey tasting. I mean, we're not big whiskey fans, but like that was still like cool to do.
Yeah, we also like walked the Prince Mile.
The Royal Mile.
The Royal Mile. Makes no sense. The Royal Mile, which was like really cool. And it was like the only day was pouring on us. So like the 3 months is like we only had 1 week off. So that's when we went to Italy and France. And we went for like 4 days, which was our longest trip outside of obviously Ireland. And then the rest were about like 2 days. Because we both had off Fridays.
Yeah, I didn't have Thursday.
Oh, I didn't have either. So like, we had off Thursday, Friday. Yes, because Wednesday. Maybe you had class on Thursday.
I thought I had chemistry on Thursday.
You probably did.
Maybe.
I think I was the only one that had 5
Wait,
days
was Wednesday
off.
or no? Tuesday was religion. Right? We had religion on Tuesdays. Tuesday morning. I got that class. Those field trips we went on. Hey, but we handled it like champs.
According to some man who lives in Ireland, so I feel like I'll take that.
And he took us to his house.
He did, with his dogs, and then after we got there, he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I can't do an Irish accent. I would if I could, but he's like, oh yeah, don't worry, guys, it's us. I mean,
it's my house.
It's my house.
Don't worry.
Okay, cool,
great.
I
feel like the camera's about to die.
I know. I'm getting. Side note: if this dies on us, I'm currently getting distracted because the battery is blinking red, which I feel like means it's gonna die. But
it's nice knowing you guys.
What
Start. There we go.
Okay, we're back. This battery's also dying, so we'll see how far we get here. Also, you might hear a car alarm going off.
It's neither of our cars,
but it's a car, so hopefully you don't hear it through the mics. But anyway, so we were just talking about trips we took, which led us to talking about classes that we took, because one class that we took was Celtic religion. Remember we thought it was Celtic religion? That lives right free in my
Oh,
head.
it's Celtic.
It's Celtic. And the
That was
professor.
literally the first thing he told us. He's like, I know you all think it's Celtic. It's Celtic.
I didn't. I knew it was Celtic, and I told you it was Celtic, and you're like, no, Celtic, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But during that class, we did field trips. And
3.
We did 3, and basically Celtic religion was just about rocks. I'm sorry
Tombs.
if anyone listening to this cares about the Irish rocks. But the car just stopped. Anyways, so during that time, we got to go to these field trips that were mostly like graves or rocks.
We went inside a tomb, guys. We have the pictures.
We have pictures, I don't remember, but yeah, that happened. But one of the field trips, it was, I think, the last one, right?
The one that he took us to his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the
Like,
last one.
he brought us to his house, and we're all like, hey,
It's like
Billy,
a week
like,
before.
this is so silly. Like, I don't think we should be here. This seems kind of weird. And he goes, no, guys, it's fine. Come outside. I have to show you something. And then I guess he has, like, was it, like, a piece of a rock that was historical or something? He had something to show us, and then we went into his
Oh,
into
yeah.
or
He showed us, like, a
something.
tomb or something like that, but you couldn't, like, fully see it. We went to, like, his front yard, like, went out, and it looked, like, over most of, I think, Dingle. And he was like, oh, yeah, you guys can see it. He gave us a whole history about it. He's like, okay, I have one more thing to show you. We went into his shed. He pulls out an instrument, starts playing it.
Yeah.
And then his dog came out. It was a whole thing. And he's like, oh, yeah, by the way, this is my house.
Yeah.
That was the most wild day of my life.
That was so interesting, yeah. But then there was, I think it was the first field trip we went on where it poured the whole entire time. But not like, Irish weather to me is like, it rains for 20 minutes, you're done. It'll probably rain a few hours later or something. Like, it'll rain at least once a day. Like, there's
It definitely rained once a
but
day.
never bad. This was like getting
What?
whacked.
Yeah.
Because we were also on like the water looking at these like tombs. And there's no roof, no nothing. And you're just getting whacked because it's an outdoor field trip. And it poured. It was so muddy too. We had to climb up like little hills. It was not the safest like thing. And at the end, he's looking at us. We're all like drenched in mud, and like we just look like we've been through it. And he's like, you know what, guys? Thank you so much.
You complained a lot less than I thought you would.
And that you should have, because it actually was really bad. Like, if an Irishman is telling you it could have been worse, I feel like I appreciate his realizing that we could have complained a lot. Or like, we didn't really complain. It just was us being
I don't
freezing.
remember complaining. I just complained to you.
Yeah, like the way
That
I
was
had
it.
it, like I also felt so frozen. That was a cold one. That was a rough.
Also, do you remember how muddy our shoes got from that? Like, from the
So
last place that we
bad,
went to,
yeah.
we were right by, like, a farm where, like, cows were and stuff like that. And there was, my voice just cracked. And there were just piles of mud to get to the place that we had to go to prove a point about something. And I think I have a before and after of, like, what
Probably.
our shoes looked like.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, you do?
brutal. I do.
It was like, and we had, and of course, like we had rain boots, thank God. So
Yeah.
like, it wasn't life or death or anything. I mean, never as shoes, but so we were able to fix it nice and quick.
And then I think we put them outside in the rain. Bless you.
We did. Which, can someone explain to me how the Irish people dry their clothes outside when it rains every single day? I have yet to comprehend that. Like, when we had to do laundry, we had a drying rack. We also had the lines outside, but we had a drying rack indoors, so we just used that. But I could not comprehend how people did it. Did they just wait days to take their laundry in?
I guess so. Or they're
I'll
just
never-
really quick to it.
I'll never understand.
But the weather was so unpredictable. Wait, now you're getting me on this train.
I know.
How do they do that?
I don't know. I've thought about it quite often. I have to figure it out.
Hmm.
But, so thanks to, are you also sneezing?
Yeah.
Or just like going down for the count. But so we've been talking about Ireland a lot because we absolutely love it. I love it.
I miss it so much.
That will be my top country forever because I got to live there
live
and
there.
experience that, and it was like
So much
the coolest experience. And like during the semester, I only took 2 classes, right?
in Ireland, yeah.
In Ireland, and then I took online classes.
Oh my god,
to be
your
a
music
full-time.
class?
I will admit, the music class was brutal, but it was fine. But it was like one of those like cool experience because I got to like play a whistle in a pub, which is like such a
You
Irish
did the
moment.
dancing too, right? Was
Yeah.
that your
I
class?
got to
Yeah.
Irish dance. It pushed me out of my comfort zone that I probably things I wouldn't have done on my own. You know.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, thank you. I try. So if you're wondering, this is just one big ad for the Dingle program at Sacred Heart University. And if you've made it this far, you should study abroad.
Always. It was one of the reasons I chose Sacred Heart.
Same.
Was our program in Dingle. Because having a Irish family background, you also have that. I had always wanted to go to Ireland, and my one of my goals for college was to study abroad, and I mean, it was just destiny at that point.
Well, I have trauma actually with that. No. So what happened was, I remember looking at Sacred Heart and going into an info session with Renee. I know Renee is the person in charge.
Oh,
for those who's listening.
I thought you were talking about my professor.
How would I know your professor?
I don't know.
I didn't even know you had a professor named Renee. Anyways, she, very nice woman. She's in charge of the program, and she's been in charge of it for years now, before we got here.
Yeah.
And I sat in an info session about Dingle, and I remember her talking about the pre-fall, which is right before you get on campus.
Yes.
And when I tell you, once I got accepted, I was like, I got accepted in December 2019. So I was right before COVID hit. And I was so excited because I was like, I'm going to do the pre-fall in Dingle. That's so cool for 2 weeks. It's going to be so exciting. You get to take one class, like get it done. And I get to leave the country at 18. Then COVID hit, and then they canceled the pre-falls on campus. They only had virtual ones, so I ended up doing the volunteering one.
That's how we met.
And then that's not how we met. We were just happened to be in the same Zoom. That's all the claim to fame we have in that moment. We did not meet. I do not claim that as our meeting point. But then after freshman year, they announced that they were bringing back the Dingle trip.
Yep.
For the winter session of 2021.
Yep.
Almost 2022 because you spend New Year's during the winter program. And I applied for it. And then, like, a month before, it got canceled because of COVID. And I remember I was so upset. But they promised that, like, if you did do, like, the summer and you were, like, a senior and you still were more than welcome to do it because, like, that's not your fault that it got canceled.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing it still. But in the summer, and that led us to you ended up doing the 2 week, even though you weren't going to do the winter.
No.
It was just going to be me, which I guess it worked out because I don't think I would have known anyone. But it was super fun anyways, but I felt like Dingle was like, I don't want you to come. But then I still came, so joke's on you, Dingle. And that's where I got this fabulous
I almost thought that I wasn't able to study abroad because at least with, like, my major, the only time, like, that works for us that when you study abroad is the fall of sophomore year because it's just, like, how the classes work out and everything like that. And I remember there are pictures somewhere of me crying over the fact that I wouldn't be able to study abroad once they, like, opened up the applications and stuff like that. And I remember friggin' plugging away at figuring out a way to get to Dingle for a semester because it would just, like, I wasn't graduating Sacred Heart without spending a semester in Dingle.
Yeah.
And then I remember getting on a Zoom with Renee, and she's like, you can't do it. Like, it's not possible. I was like, nope, I figured it out.
Yeah.
And then she's like, all right, you can apply. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I got lucky because, like, communications, like, allegedly there was no specific time, and then
allegedly
all of a sudden after our fall, literally this fall, they're like, oh, here's some communication classes, like you could intern and do communications for, like, these cool brands.
You got 2 core classes out of the way.
Yeah, but, like, I wouldn't have taken them. Like, I don't, like, wasn't interesting to me. Again, worked out, very happy, but after they were, like, doing internships for communication, I was like, I could have done an internship. That would have been dope.
You also got to work in Dingle, too.
Oh, I did. I did my work study. I got to work at all the festivals. I did their...
Tell us about that.
Thank you. So, Dingle, fun fact, if you don't know, is very much known for their food festival in the fall, where, like, all over Ireland, people come to, like...
The streets are covered in food.
It's, like, the coolest experience. Like, I feel like I've never experienced it and will never experience it unless I go back. Like, it was so cool, and the food was so good, and I got to work it, so I got, like, some free perks for some stuff, or, like, I got to, like, see stuff. I don't know. It was cool. And I also worked, like, the music one that was apparently also
You did
huge.
the film one, too, right?
Yeah, but the film wasn't as big. That was a new up-and-coming, so that I'm less, like... I did watch some short films that were kind of cool, but nothing crazy. But, yeah, that was my work study. But it wasn't, like, a real job or anything. But that's all about. We could literally talk about Dingle, Ireland. For
A whole podcast could be about Dingle.
could have done that.
We could have.
We would
But we
have.
didn't.
We would have gone bored very quickly. So to segue out of like, let's start with like, let's go domestic. Let's go. What's your favorite state you ever visited?
I have a couple. I have two answers, like a real one and then kind of like a like 1A.
Okay.
Okay, so my number one state that I've been to, wait, I don't know. Hold on. It's coming to me.
Okay.
I would say probably. I don't know. What about you? What do you got?
I would say for me, it was, I mean, I haven't visited to me like crazy states or far away states from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I visit a lot near here. Like, I go to school in Connecticut. Obviously, been to Jersey.
Yeah.
I've never been to any of the Carolinas. Like, there's, I don't know. Florida is probably, like, the furthest I've been domestically. But now that I went recently, Nashville, Tennessee is probably my favorite.
There you go.
It was super fun. Nice short trip. It was, like, a good amount of time. Went with our friends, Alana and Teresa. Hi, guys. I hope you're listening.
Hey.
The two, yeah, and it was like a fun little girl trip. You were supposed to go, but you had the flu. Sadly, it was in flu season.
Brutal. Get your flu shot.
But I will say, I will recommend, like, I haven't been in the summer, which I want to go in the summer, but for them, like, their winter, because this was right after right after New Year's,
Mm-hmm.
it was, like, so nice. Like, the weather wasn't too bad. Like, it's kind of, like, a little bit warmer than here. But, like, it's not as crowded at the bars, and, like, we went at a good time, so it was, like, not as crowded, so it was super fun. And there was a lot of things I still wanted to do that we didn't get to do, so I would love to go back. But that's probably my, like, fave for now.
Yeah. Okay.
Back.
I guess back to me. I'd say probably at the moment North Carolina.
Ooh.
Mostly because the first time I went was 2 Januaries ago. So right when we got back from study abroad. So, no, it was last January, 2023. Right? That's when we got back?
Yes.
Thank you. And it was the first time I went down. My family were huge UNC Chapel Hill fans. From like years of my grandfather reffing basketball and everything like that. And it was the first time I went down. My cousin lived down there for a little bit. And it's actually where I'm going to school next year. We'll be heading to Duke. So, yeah, it's just right now. And I'm like really excited to like go down there. The weather when we went was like perfect. It was like still like 60 degrees in January. So I'm really excited for that. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like Hawaii.
I mean, yeah, that's also up there. But
That's crazy. You didn't pick that one. Is there a state that you really want to go to, like top of the list?
Alaska.
That's fair.
Like I'm like dying to go to Alaska.
I would do like I don't do cruises because I'm terrified. Talk about like something you're scared of. Like I shouldn't say hate. I strongly dislike boats and like cruises and stuff. But I feel like doing a cruise there would be cool. Like if there's if there's like a weekend cruise, maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
But if I do like a long term thing, that's just too scary for me.
Yeah. But you?
I mean, I guess Hawaii would be like the obvious choice.
Which island?
I don't know.
All of them.
Sure.
Cool.
Probably, yeah. Or like California. I kind of want to go. I want to go West Coast at some point.
West Coast.
My goal is to go to all 50 states. But I'm hoping that like my next state I go to, excluding the one I'm going to, is going to be a West Coast state. Because, in case you're wondering, me and Kat are about to travel again very soon, which is why this travel episode came to mind, because we're leaving. You're leaving in 4 days?
Yeah, however long Thursday is from when we're filming this. I'm off to Illinois. I'm going to Chicago for the American College of Sports Medicine National Conference.
And I'm going to another conference in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, for NACA, which is basically this big convention where all these cool performances, programs, presentations, which is about like school activities, because I'm on the student event team, so we plan events. And so that involves, and like this is like a not a trade show, but kind of like a vibe where you get to see all these different acts. You can learn about them, but this one's a big national one, so it's everyone across the
Look
U.S.
at us, national conference girlies.
I know. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going. It's gonna be super fun. I'm just anxious because I don't fly often. Like, as mentioned, never left the country up until literally a year and a half ago, or 2 years, I guess now almost. Wait, was it 2 years? No,
Yeah.
almost 2 years. Yeah. But so like I've taken a flight maybe once every 3 years or something. Like it's been a hot minute. Not now. Now I've taken a few flights a few times, but like I get so scared with turbulence stuff, even though like I know turbulence is not the reason.
I hate to bring this up again, but do you remember the turbulence we felt going to Rome when we studied abroad?
Like we have to finish every sentence when we said it, bro. No. It was France. Oh, France.
It was France too. Yeah.
It was Air France or whatever it's called. And let me tell you, they traumatized me because at that point, I've been on 4 flights in the span of like a month, and I'm so confident. I'm like, I'm good. Like, honestly, I don't think I'm scared of flights anymore. I think I definitely have outgrown it because I've gone to so many flights.
Wrong.
And then this flight, if you're watching, you'll see with my hand what happens. Listeners, I'm gonna try to describe it. We're flying in the air, maybe 20 minutes in. We're high up.
It wasn't that long of a flight either.
It was like an hour. Like if that. And all of a sudden we dip, like dip to our death, like that. Like turbulence, I don't mind shaking, but it's when you dip and you can see literally land or water or clouds, you're just like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And I thought we were gonna die in that moment, and we didn't. We're sitting here now. It's a year and a half later. And that hasn't even been my worst flight because Nashville was worse.
All right.
That was only a month, 2 months now, almost 3. And the flight there wasn't great. It was a little turbulence, but the way back was actually
Well, you were flying right into a really bad storm. Yeah, it was like a really bad rainstorm that day.
Yeah, like rain or whatever, snow. And the way we like took off, it was a little shaky, and then all of a sudden it shook to a point where the guy who's the flight attendant was like speaking. He stopped because he got scared. Like he got a little, I don't want to say scared, but a little like thrown off at his game. And then someone screamed, and then the person in front of us was like throwing up. It was the most atrocious, and again, quick flight. So I think I have more problems with quicker flights than longer flights because our flight from New York to Ireland was not bad.
Those were the smoothest flights in the 3 months we were in Ireland.
Exactly, but this Nashville one took everything in me that I literally got, and I was like, I don't ever want to fly again. Like, I don't want to fly again. And I haven't taken a flight since because it's been 3 months, and now I have to get on a flight to Pittsburgh, which is a little bit
what airline are you
than
flying?
Who knows? It's out of LaGuardia, so I don't know.
Oh, maybe a reputable one.
Oh, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
The school paid for it. But this is like the first flight, and I think I've learned like I don't think I could fly during the winter times. So I'm a little stressed right now considering we just had a snowstorm like less than a week ago at this point, and I'm scared. I haven't looked at the weather because I know if I look at it, it'll ruin.
I haven't even looked at it.
Like I am absolutely terrified. Hopefully, the next episode is also gonna be before our trip, but maybe
we'll report back.
Episode 6. We'll report back, or we won't. I don't know. But so that's why this whole travel episode came to mind. Because I'm like, oh my God, we're about to travel. Thinking about traveling. Hopefully the flight goes smooth because then we come back. We have school for a few more days, and then it's spring break where we're going to Florida.
Yay!
For Disney World, which I'm super excited for. But just the flying, I don't know what it is. Like, I wish I could just, like, knock out, Like, not, like...
Bring a Dramamine with you, man.
But, like, I can't because, like, we have to, like...
Yeah. Are you, like, doing stuff when you get there?
Who knows? I don't know. I have not been... I think there's something, but I could be wrong. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can just, like, pass out or take a break. Yeah. Okay. So I have one more question we're going to answer before we do our little moments. The camera is about to die, so we're going to talk really, really quick because I really want to finish this episode tonight.
Okay.
So what's your favorite travel product?
My Lululemon belt bag. You can't go anywhere without it.
It is good, especially for, like, places that are typical for, like, pickpocketers. That's key. And if it's cold out, you can wear it under your coat. It's perfect.
What about you?
Mine is a scale for luggage.
Yes.
You don't necessarily need it. It's definitely not a necessity.
If you're
but
checking a bag.
Yes.
Clutch.
And I love it. Like, it's so nice. One less thing to worry about. And then, like, you only need one person to have it in your group, and then you're good. So, yeah, those are my... Yeah. I feel like this episode's a little all over the place. I don't know if we... But it wouldn't be overly involved if it wasn't just us talking about our obsession of random things. It makes no sense. But anyways, as we come to end, we are going to do our little segments. If this is your first time listening, our little segments, just things that we're currently obsessed with. It has nothing to do with the episode. And so, Kat, what is your cat's craze right now?
Okay, right now, it's 21 Pilots.
Okay.
Rumor has it they are coming out with a new album.
Ooh.
And it's been a while since it's been 3 years at this point since they've come out with an album. Yeah. And big thing about them is they have a lot of lore with their, there's like a storyline behind all their albums and stuff like that. Right now there's red tape over all their albums on Spotify and Apple Music. So I'm waiting. Hopefully I'll be able to report back if they drop an album by the end of this month. Rumor has it. So
that's sick.
Kayla, what is your clutch moment?
Thank you so much for
of the week.
For the week. Okay. So I think I should become a doctor because my clutch moment is that I, for the first time ever, actually predicted me getting sick because so we're filming this on a Sunday. Thursday, I thought my ear was hurting. I was like, oh, maybe I'm being crazy, but I'm just going to make a doctor's appointment. Clutch moment that I did that because boom, I have an ear infection.
Womp womp.
Little womp womp. I'm going on a flight again, terrified of flying because now I think my ears are just going to explode in pain. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm going to be off antibiotics by then, but I'm still not feeling 100%. Like I feel still real pretty congested, but I feel like I'm going to feel better, and I'm glad I was right. So that was like, I know it's not like a thing, but it's like a clutch moment.
Yeah,
so I'm
there you
going
go.
to from that perspective. But anyways, that is the end of the episode because the camera's literally about to die. Thank you so much for listening. Again, this is the Overly Involved Pod with me, Kayla.
And me, Kat.
Don't think that makes sense. Anyways, we're going to commit to that. Follow us on all social medias. If you just listened, you can actually watch this whole podcast on YouTube. And if you just watched it on YouTube, you can listen to it only later on, I don't know, on Spotify. And follow us on Instagram and TikTok and all social medias because we're on everything. Just look up Overly Involved Pod. Woohoo. And thank you so much for listening and watching. Bye.